Hello, my name is Rutvik Desai. I'm a professor in the Department of Psychology, and I'm also affiliated with the Institute of Mind and Brain here at U of SC. Um, my lab looks at um, language processing in the brain, and especially focusing on semantics. So, this is how meanings of words and sentences and discourse are represented in the brain. Which areas of the brain are important, which networks of the brain are important for this, and what do they do, what is the function of each one of them. So we look at questions like this using a number of different methods of cognitive neuroscience. So some of the issues we think about is what is the relationship between the sensory motor systems of the brain, so systems that are related to action and perception, and the systems that are related to concepts and thinking, representing meanings of words. So are these two separate systems, or are they interrelated or closely related, or is it the same system, and so on. So we have done a number of different studies in this area. We also study processing of metaphors. So when you talk about things like he was throwing a tantrum, are you really throwing anything? Does the brain interpret it as like physically throwing something, or is it just like a completely abstract concept? Another area that we have recently focused on is the areas of the brain that are thought to integrate concepts. So concepts have many features like color, sound, shape, motion, and so on. And some areas people think are hubs or integrative areas. And so, what are these areas that might integrate concepts or process all of these multimodal features of concepts? And what is the function of those areas? Where do they exist, and what are they, and what are their characteristics? So we look at questions like this. We use a number of different methods. One important method for us is functional MRI. So we do brain imaging, typically in healthy people, but sometimes also in patients. Then we use brain stimulation, TDCS and TMS are methods that we use, which we can use to stimulate areas that we think are relevant to representation of concepts. Then we also study patients who are survivors of stroke. By looking at which areas of the brain are damaged or lesioned and what are the impairments that these stroke survivors have, we can learn about functions of the brain, and there is a potential for developing therapies or helping the patients to improve in an optimal way if we can understand what part of the brain is doing what, and how which areas are not damaged, what they might be doing, so we can help those areas recover some of the functions that is lost. We do lesion symptom mapping and connectome symptom mapping type of studies also. So these are the different methods we use. We also dabble in EEG sometimes, and we collaborate with other individuals, other faculty members who might do eye tracking and EEG studies. So that's what my lab does. And yeah, if you're interested in these kind of topics, language, concepts, representation of meaning in the brain, then yeah, I would be happy to talk to you, answer any questions, and yeah, please get in touch with me.